George for a very long time.
Well, thank you. I don't know whether there's anything I can say about George from all the wonderful things that have been said tonight. Right? So many things have been said about him. I made myself some notes so I wouldn't forget maybe to say. But, you know, thanks for having this for George. And in my words, he's a very important person. And has done a lot for the city of Fort Lauderdale and mostly for neighborhoods. So many things he's done for that, you know, neighborhoods are using now. You know, we've known each other for quite a while, and because when he first started, I was involved in the council and in a couple of boards, and I was always, it seemed like I was always in City Hall with something. You know, so many things he's done for our neighborhoods. The little book house. That is one of the best things that could have ever happened to the city and to bring to the neighborhoods. It was really, when it first started, and
I'm sorry. If everyone could give Betty the respect she deserves in this, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, this is something I think is very important for everybody in all the neighborhoods. I had one of the very first ones. It was in our park in the Diamond City Park behind the Broward Health Hospital. I think most of you know the story about what happened, that our park was closed for a whole year. And then we had so many problems. The children were crying. I had children even knocking on my door crying, why can't we go in our park? But anyway, we managed. But I had this idea that I called George one day and I said, you think we could get a little book house in the entrance to Imperial Court? And he said, I'll check into it. Well, 2 days later, he called me and said, I'm at the entranceway. I said, okay, I'll be right up. And there was a truck, a book house, and George with a shovel. He was ready to put in the book house in the entrance to Imperial Court by our butterfly gardens. But that was so wonderful that he could do that. And it's still being used. I was there yesterday sitting on the bench, and a lady drove up in her car, and she had some books in her hand, and she said, I had some books, I thought I would just drop these off. And she did, and she looked in there, and she said, oh, I like this book. And I said, well, I just put it there. And so she went away with it. So that's the thing that people do. Now since I've had this problem and can't move around as much, I have somebody looking after the house in the park. So, and she's getting really interested and excited about doing it. But I mean, that's just a little story that I thought anyway like that. But about things that this guy over here does, you know, for all of us. The other thing that he, oh, I'm sorry, I keep moving the microphone. Okay, let me see what the next thing I don't want to do. Some of these things I don't want to forget. The next important memory is with George is May the 7th, 2013, when there was an affair in City Hall that it was called Citizens Recognition Awards, and the two of us were on that and got it. George got Citizen of the Year, and I got Distinguished Citizen of the Year. I don't know how I got these things, but that's what they gave. And the city actually took portraits of each one of us, a portrait, and then that evening, that day when they had this affair, we found that our pictures were hanging in the hallway of City Hall. So that was a big contest between us for a whole year, because we he talked about the painting on the wall for a year, which we did. We were hanging near the elevator there in City Hall. So that was an interesting thing that we had, and other people talked about it as well. So I wanted to be sure that for him to get the Citizen of the Year was great. I mean, he got many awards after that, but that was just the first important one. The other thing that George is helpful is with the Fort Lauderdale Cares Day. We always, in our neighborhood, we have butterfly gardens in the entrance. And we always work on those two gardens and always need plants. So George has been so fortunate in all these years since this has taken place that he's managed to get with the garden center to give us plants, which was just wonderful. And they're always good plants that are just for butterflies. So that's one thing I think that he really gets involved in, and that is good. The other one is neighborhood services day. I used to do that for years and years in that event, and in the parking garage, you know, and he always had some interesting ideas and interesting things going on. I did the council area for a long time. But it's something good that people like to go to and hopefully learn something about what can be done. But I'm sorry to see our friend leave us, but hopefully he'll have a wonderful life and all the best for him.
Thank you. Thank you, Betty. I mean, if you haven't heard Betty's name,